after this chapter, I might make Doflamingo one of my favorite villains of all time from this series. Because seeing him grab Bellamy and forcing Luffy to hit him in the face, that was something I did not expect. It was not something I saw coming. It was very dark, and to see how even the famous, like, one-hit punch to the face that Luffy always tries to go for first, it did not technically happen because you had Bellamy become a freaking meat shield to Doffy. So, that was really messed up. And then the ending of this chapter, seeing how Red Hawk finally made an appearance, and you had room shambles, and then you just see fucking Luffy punch with a fucking face with Red Hawk, and when you see Doffy, it's like, ugh, see blood coming out of his face. Oh my fucking god. Oda, damn, dude. Damn. Oh. And this is what I talked about when I was talking earlier a couple chapters back. Like, One Piece always has that slow middle, and then it gets to that freaking explosive ending of the arc. That's exactly what we're seeing now. We're getting into that explosive ending. Ooh, just seeing that ending of Red Hawk and Luffy, man. Like, Red Hawk Luffy just punching Doffy in the fucking face, and Doffy takes the first hit. It begins. It begins now. The fight begins. Now, it's official, because now that, you know, Doflamingo's been punched in the face by Luffy, for the first time, technically, the fight really begins. Because usually the fights of One Piece begin with Luffy punching someone in the fucking face. It usually is. He always gets that face punch in, like, near the beginning of, you know, fights. And so seeing this is, shit's about to go down. Now, I highly doubt, Doflamingo's really hurt from that. I mean, yes, blood came out, and yes, it was a hard fucking hit. And technically, I'm guessing this is Luffy's best, like, his best attempt at, beating someone. For instance, he has his Red Hawk on, we saw his Hawkeye come on. So, I mean, clearly, Luffy was doing his absolute hardest to actually strike at Doflamingo. The only thing he could have added to add more power to that punch was using, like, his second gear secondo, or, using, his, gear third. Either that. He would have to use one of those to add more power. But still, the hit with the Red Hawk had to hurt like hell. It had to fucking hurt. Now, besides the entire bit with the ending of Doflamingo getting his face or teeth knocked in, the entire bit with Bellamy was a really emotional thing in this chapter going on. For instance, you have it to where he's on the ground, you see Doflamingo pick him up and all that, and you see his beaten face, his face is beaten in, and you see how much, Bellamy has really cared about Doflamingo. He's wanted to, I guess, be his right-hand man, or, he's looked up to Doflamingo as his, I guess, mentor, or someone he really respects. And to see how this mentor of Bellamy, pretty much, or person he respects, came and beat the shit out of him, just think about the standpoint of Bellamy in this chapter, how he feels. I mean, if you're the person you admire comes up to you right now, okay? The person you really admire, and then all of a sudden, after everything you know of them, how much you love them, how hard you've tried to please them, they just come over there and beat the fucking shit out of your face, and you're left on the ground, bleeding all over yourself. How would you feel? That's pretty much what just happened to Bellamy. The person he respects and admires just beat the shit out of him, and now what does he have to believe in? Seriously. Here's the thing I see coming, honestly. You can clearly see Bellamy and Luffy have some form of connection in this chapter, and this arc you've seen, connection grow between these two characters, and they used to have their issues. But in this chapter specifically, Doflamingo brings up they used to have issues, Bellamy and Luffy. Luffy says in this chapter that, I no longer care, that doesn't matter, that's in the past, pretty much. And so Bellamy clearly did hear that. He's definitely awake because he's being forced to fight, Luffy. And so, I think, at the course of the end of this fight, okay, I don't know what is going to happen, depending if Bellamy stays alive through this fight, if he doesn't die, thanks to Doflamingo using him as a fucking puppet, I think Bellamy has the potential to become part of Luffy's crew. Because we really haven't seen Bellamy's crew, honestly. I don't recall seeing any of Bellamy's crew in this arc. And, personally, I think, all Bellamy's crew technically got killed by Doflamingo, if I remember, too. But anyways, besides that, I mean, since technically Bellamy lost the person he admired. He lost the person he admired. He did. Doflamingo's no longer probably the person he admires. He's probably going to admire Luffy. Shift his entire perspective onto the person that saved his life, is helping him out currently, trying to respect him for who he is. He's definitely going to shift his overall perspective onto Luffy. So I feel like he's either going to join the Straw Hat crew or something like that is going to happen, because that's clearly what that entire section of this chapter, you know, signifies. I think Oda's trying to sneak in those details. Now, one thing though, I really do have to laugh my ass off, Treble. He got his ass kicked. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Law just fucking cuts him in half. He's like, ah. He's just... Wow. That was just too easy. I'm not even gonna go into that. It was that sad. I'm not even gonna go into the fact of Law just... Yeah. Okay. We get to see, you know, those toys. Those big, like, nutcracker toys that was a couple chapters back that we saw, you know, Barto and everybody, or Cavendish, trying to hold back. Well, in this chapter, they go back to their human form, and we find out that those toys are actually people. Now, a lot of people are having Fury saying there was something different because, you know, they were bigger, and there was no way technically a toy could be that big by one person. But in this chapter, it is revealed that, you know, Sugar could put multiple people into one toy. And so she could increase the size of the toys, and I'm guessing the power of the toys. So that's really strange and interesting how Sugar could do that, and it just goes to show you how OP she really freaking is. I mean, out of all the people from this arc, Sugar, I have to think, is the most OP character from this arc. She is really fucking OP. I mean, if you think she's just an innocent girl, she could fuck you over, really. So, Sugar, once again, confirmed to have Hack's Devil Fruit powers. She seriously, that is the freaking... The way she can just do all sorts of stuff, like delete someone's existence, put multiple people into a toy, different stuff like that, she's just hacked. So, anyways, overall, very good chapter. If I had to rate this chapter, 8.5 out of 10. Tell me your thoughts about this chapter of One Piece, everybody. I love all of you so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.